It felt foreign and obvious on my skin, even though it had been there for more than 15 hours. It was the love hormone, was it not? Love and chocolate. They were pumping me with love. Was that the reason for the feeling? Or was it natural and real and the strongest force that there was? Was it all that mattered? The love? Decidedly not. I'd asked the nurse if she could remove the IV. She'd told me I needed to finish the bag of fluids and oxytocin. Ideally, they'd leave it in for 24 hours after the birth, if I could stand it that long. She was sweet, apologetic. Fine, even though I was afraid I wouldn't be able to sleep with it stuck to my hand, tying me to the wheeling metal contraption from which the bag of fluids was hanging. It was an absurd concern. That wasn't the reason I wouldn't be able to sleep. The nurse had left us alone after that, as panic and an overwhelming urge to cry, "Now what?" had gripped me. Tyler had dozed off. He was still asleep on the plasticky sofa a few feet away from me. I could hear him snoring, softly, but snoring nonetheless, covered in a starchy white— why were they all so impractically white? Hospital sheet, because we'd forgotten to bring a blanket for him from the house. He looked uncomfortable lying there, but that felt appropriate and fair. I felt an urge to reach over and shake him, because that he was sleeping was very unfair. Besides, it was a reflex. For years, I'd been nudging him whenever I'd heard him snore. But I couldn't reach him now, and I was too scared to try to get up on my own. The effects of the epidural had not worn off completely. My legs felt leaden, tied to cement blocks, like someone was planning to toss me off a bridge and wait for me to sink. When we had arrived in the room, which was far smaller than the room in which I'd given birth, the nurse had helped me out of the wheelchair while Tyler stood guard over the baby's bassinet with its clear plastic walls. She'd told me that she needed to make sure I could use the bathroom. I was still feeling high at that point, from the extra painkillers the anesthesiologist had pumped into my IV before I'd started pushing. I was floating through a haze of airy rainbow numbness. I couldn't feel a thing. With impressive strength, although I had rid my body of an 8-pound human, fluids, and placenta, by the looks of my belly, it was all still there, the entire 55 pounds I'd put on during the pregnancy. The nurse had supported me, led me over to the toilet, and sat me down. She'd stood over me, making sure I didn't fall off, and we waited until we could hear the trickle of liquid. My cloth hospital gown had drops of blood at the hem. Tyler's body jolted, then he shifted on the sofa, and his breathing evened out. The soft snoring resumed. Between us was the baby, Oliver, the stranger. His arms wriggled, his legs fluttered. We watched each other. I knew exactly what he was doing. He'd done just the very same thing every night back when he lived inside of me. Here he was, out in the world, evicted 9 days past due with the help of 11 hours of Pitocin drip and 1 hour and 46 minutes of pushing. Why should he give up his routine? He showed no signs of sleep. He was free now. I'd told Tyler to leave the bathroom light on, to crack the door so that I could see Oliver. The glare reflected off the analog clock hanging on the wall across from me. It was 3:34. I had been awake for 24 hours.